Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today, I do appreciate you stopping by. We're going to do the final one that Greg has sent me in the last beer mail package. This is Treehouse Brewing Space and Time. This is a big beer, guys. This is an 11% Imperial Stout. The note he sent here says, another Treehouse Stout. This one intentionally not as sweet as most of their others. He said he bought this one at Treehouse on a recent trip. So this comes directly from the brewery. Doesn't get much fresher than that, but just remember this is a big beer, guys. 11% or drink this one at home. Don't think you're a macho man and you're going to drink 2, 3, 4 of these and drive somewhere, because you'd be a frickin' bloomin' idiot. That's why you see me do all mine here. I'm not driving. I'm not hurting me or anybody else. All I gotta do is just stagger down the hallway and fall down into bed. Yeah. Might have to call Uber or have a designated driver, but if you do drink this somewhere other than at home, make sure you have a designated driver. Be safe out there, guys. 11% Imperial Stout. Treehouse is up in Massachusetts. I don't think they distributed it anywhere. They may do kegs to some of the brew pubs or bars. I'm not sure on that. Most everything has to come straight from the brewery. You have to go either stand in line or whatever you got to do. If you're lucky like I am and have wonderful subscribers or friends that will send you some of their stuff, you will not be disappointed. I have never been. So Untapped has this listed at 8.8%. I don't understand that. They're usually pretty on top of their game. This is 11%, guys, not 8.8. So maybe they have a 2019 edition. Before I start mealy-mouthing them, let me see if there is a 2019 edition listed. Space and Time 2019. No, it's not there. So it is not an 8.8%. It is 11%. So I don't know if they've done it before and it was a little bit smaller beer than what this one is. This is a big beer, guys. With them not putting that ABV on it, and the label is virtually impossible to frickin' read. I don't understand who's in charge of advertising or anything on that, but this label sucks out loud. Says here, Space and Time is a double mash extended boil. Imperial Stout is pure, rugged, and laced with bold flavors as function of extra European roasted and crystal malts. Amid a world of sweetness, Space and Time rebels, putting forth intense flavors of baker's chocolate, roasted malt, and a firm, sturdy bitterness, and entices the next sip. We have to reflect upon the inexorable march of time and joy. And it does not have the ABV on there, guys. So technically, to be honest about it, Untapped has it at 8.8% and Beer Advocate has it listed at 11%. I don't know what I'm drinking here, guys. That's the whole fuss I have with what Treehouse does. They don't put the ABV on there, and since it changes from batch to batch or year to year, that needs to be on there. And it's definitely going to cost them a grade point on this one. I am tired of that. Even though they produce world-class beers, if the ABV is changing that much from year to year or batch to batch, it needs to be on the freaking label. So if this is a 10 beer, it's only going to get a 9. And I'm not even popped it open yet. So it very well may be a 10 beer, and I'm not going to give it that. Because I've got so much differential information between what Beer Advocate and Untappd is telling us, and I couldn't find a 2019 edition listed, which is what this is, because the bottom of it says 6/13 of 2019. So this is a 2019 edition, so I don't know if it's 11% or an 8.8%, and that chaps my ass. So they need to put that on there. You got the dating machine, guys, 2 thumbs up for that. Put the ABV on the frickin' label. I don't care if you want to use this label for batch after batch after batch after batch. You probably can go to the website and see what the 2019 edition is. You shouldn't have to jump through those hoops, and I don't do it. Homie, don't play that. Put it on the frickin' label, guys. So this is probably going to cost you a grade point, not knowing what ABV beer I am drinking. It's my prerogative, and I so choose to. So, if you don't like that, tough shit. So, these guys need to put the ABV on the label. And I'm going to stand by that on this beer. And as much as I enjoy their beers that are sent to me from Greg, they need to do that. They need to do that. You're spending the time and effort to purchase that dating machine, to put that date on the bottom of it, but you refuse to put the ABV on there. So, as far as I'm concerned, that will most definitely cost you a grade point on this beer. It is what it is. So, whether I'm drinking an 8.8 or 11%, I don't know. So, with that being said, I've read to you right off the side of the can what their description is. Untappd says, big and very bold with notes of bitter dark chocolate smoke and espresso, brewed with a complex assortment of pale and dark malt. But we refuse to put the ABV on it. So, go suck that up your pipe. Anyway, I digress. Let's get it open and get it into the glass. I have no idea what I'm drinking here as far as other being an Imperial Stout guy. Don't know what the ABV is. So, into the glass to go. Very dark, pitch black coming out of the can. Looks like molasses. Not quite that consistency, but very dark. Not much heads being poured. Very reminiscent of a bigger stout, like 11% instead of an 8.8. No head. It's not even covering the top of the beer. Pitch black. It is dark as night, guys. To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt. Hints of molasses and a little bit of coffee notes in there. May even be some dark fruit once it warms up, but it really catches me in the craw that they're not willing to put the ABV on there when it differentiates that much between batches or years. Smells outstanding, and you can see there is absolutely zero head, so that's more reminiscent of an 11%er more so than an 8.8%er. So to the lips we go. Smells awesome. Cheers everybody. Cheers Greg. Roasted malt, molasses, coffee, bittersweet chocolate. Very pleasant. Very tasty. To me, taste-wise, but these guys that brew these beers so well, it's really hard to tell by tasting what the ABV is, but to me it tastes like an 8.8%er instead of 11. I'm not getting that super thick, heavy mouthfeel, but I don't know. And I probably might or should go to their website to see if they tell us what the 2019 ABV is, and I may do that. But still, they need to put that on the label. I don't care if they're trying to save money or not go through the approval to get a different label approved for a different batch. That's part of the game, guys. That is part of brewing beer. There's a hell of a lot of difference between an 8.8%er and an 11%er. So they need to do that. They need to start putting the ABV on them. And from here on out, it's going to probably cost them a grade point. I'm a lot of times when I go to Beer Advocate and Untappd, it'll have the same ABV. So there's not a lot of discrepancy there. They're brewing this the beer, and it's pretty consistent on what the ABV is from batch to batch or year to year. But when it differentiates that much from batch to batch or year to year, from 8.8 to, I mean, if it's 8.8 this year and 8.9 last year, not a big difference. But 8.8 to 11% is a huge difference. So you need to know that. You need to know what you're buying, you're purchasing, whether it's in a store or from straight from the brewery. You need to know what you're picking up. So that is very tasty, guys. And it is a shame they don't tell us. We're going to do the back end pour here, guys. Don't think it's going to change anything whatsoever. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the biggest fuss I've got about Treehouse, other than their labels are virtually impossible to read a lot of times. They need to put that on there. They need to put the ABV on there, guys. So with that being said, we're going to sip on it for a little bit and we'll come back and give it a grade. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while now. I've decided that I am not going to give another Treehouse beer a 10 grade if it doesn't have the ABV printed on the label somewhere or on the bottom. They have at least a 4 or 5 line dating machine where they could put that, if you want to use these same labels over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, they could print that on the bottom, whether it's an 8.8% or 11%. And this one says the future is now. Irrelevant information, silly information. They could just as soon print 8.8% or 11% on the bottom of a can if they want to use these labels over and 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 over again, and not print that on the label, which is whoever's in charge of the labels, in my humble, honest opinion, is an idiot. I mean, you can't even read this label on the front. I would want something definitely more colorful to grab your attention, to make you want to pick it up. But of course, it's at the brewery, so they really don't care whether you can read the label or not. Yeah, you can only have 3, 4 of these, and I understand that they want to distribute it to other people and let everybody have a chance instead of one person coming in and buying everything that they've got. But they need to do something different with the labels, and they need to do something different with the ABV on the labels. So from here on out, as much as I'm impressed with what these guys do, and they do everything very, very well, unless it has it on the label somewhere or on the bottom, they're not going to get a 10 from me. So I have made my decision. This is a 10 beer in a 9 can. Because there's no ABV written on it, and there's huge discrepancy between Beer Advocate and Untapped on what the ABV of this beer is. So they have stepped up to the plate with the dating process, but they need to also step up to the plate with the ABV to let you know whether you're drinking or buying an 8.8% or 11%. That's just how I feel, guys. And they have a machine that can put that information on the bottom of the can if they so choose to, but they choose not to. So I choose not to give them a 10 from here on out until they do. So, with this one, very impressive. It is a 10 beer, guys, but it's not going to get it. Final chug. Big time roasted malt. Coffee, bittersweet chocolate, caramel, toffee, a little bit of molasses, maybe some dark fruit in there, some dates, raisins, plums, or figs. Very nice beer, very well done beer. We need more information from you guys at Treehouse. Put the ABV on the label or on the bottom of the can somewhere. You'll not get another 10 from me, even if it's a 10 beer from here on out. You got to do the right thing. Tell us whether we're drinking or buying an 8.8% or 11%. That's my opinion, guys. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. I went to the website. I couldn't even find this beer listed. And I'm sure somebody will say, oh, here it is. Here's the thing. I'm not going to jump through hoops. When I go there and I look at their beers and see what they produce, and I couldn't find it listed anywhere. And this is not that old of a beer. I mean, it's 5 weeks old. It should be listed on their site. And tell me what the ABV of this beer is for this edition. And I couldn't find it. So, it gets a 9 for me, guys. It's a 10 beer and a 9 can. 95. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.15, which is in their A- range. May should even went there. I'm not sure, guys. I do appreciate what Greg is purchasing and sending to me, and he has no control over what's on the can or written, but these guys there need to understand that they need to put that in front. The canned on date is important, but the ABV is important too when it varies that much from batch to batch or year to year. So, and they have a machine that's capable of doing that. Even if they want to use the same label over and over again, they need to put the ABV on there when it varies that much from year to year or batch to batch. Just my opinion. Over to Untapped, they have it at 4.13, also in their A- range. So I'm giving it a better grade than everybody else is giving it. Maybe it's an A- beer. Maybe I should be giving it an A- instead of an A. But I'm very impressed with what I am tasting in the glass from this. So the guys at Treehouse, hear me. Hear me very loudly. You'll not get another 10 from me unless the ABV is written on the label or on the bottom of the can. Period. Period. So, very tasty beer, very impressive. I would buy it here if it had the ABV written somewhere on the can. You are doing the dating process, and I do appreciate that. Even though your brewery only release, put the ABV on it. That would help. You'll not get another 10 from me until you do. So, with that being said, guys, if you've had the space and time from Treehouse, let me know what you think and how you feel about what I am saying. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.